it is apparent that my involvement in this matter is overshadowing the process. Therefore, I have come to the decision that I must temporarily remove myself from the position as police chief for the city of Sanford. I do this in the hopes of restoring some semblance of calm to the city, which has been in turmoil for several weeks.
Breaking news out of Sanford, Florida moments ago. You just heard it. Police Chief Bill Lee is stepping down temporarily after coming under fire for his handling of the Trayvon Martin case. The 17-year-old was unarmed when he was shot by a self-appointed neighborhood watchman last month. The shooter, George Zimmerman, claims it was self-defense. Let's bring in the mega panel. Karen, Susan, and Jimmy join us. So welcome, guys. Jimmy, why don't I start with you remotely today. What do you make of, obviously, this has galvanized a national controversy. Will the police chief stepping aside do anything constructive to advance the ball? I guess it's now in the hands of the city manager?
No, I don't think it will. I think he's 25 days late. I think that you have someone. Look, we all look to our law enforcement, to our community leaders to guide us through these things. This case has been bumbled. It has been mishandled. You have a dead child. You have a police chief that for 25 days has sat virtually silent on the national stage. And now we have so many different law enforcement agencies that are going to be looking into this issue. I don't know whether this was a hate crime or not. I can't tell you whether it was or wasn't. What I can tell you is that for 25 days, George Zimmerman is walking around the United States of America with a gun. He can vote. He can do everything that Trayvon Martin can't. And that police chief has dropped the ball and not done his job, and he should be ashamed, and he should have been out 25 days ago.
Karen, but yet it's only a temporary thing. What do you think the significance of this is now? It is still amazing to me that the burden of proof seems to be on the victim, and that the man who was carrying a gun, who clearly was involved in this act, isn't being called to account at all.
Right. Well, and as Trayvon Martin's father said last night on Reverend Al's show, what if Trayvon was actually thinking he was standing his ground? I mean, the guy with the gun clearly won out, so there ought to be another perspective to this. Look, I think this is the start of the police chief understanding that it's over. He's going to have to step down. But we've seen this time and time again where the person, where there's a crisis, there's kind of a half measure. Okay for a half measure, but I don't see him surviving something like this.
And then what's the path from here to at least a proper process of justice? The feds have been getting involved. I know there's Trayvon Martin's parents were meeting with federal authorities and the U.S. Attorney's Office down there. Where does this go from here?
Well, I think Karen's right. This is part of the process and just temporarily setting down. It will lead to him eventually leaving. But I don't understand why the second thing that didn't happen was that Zimmerman was arrested by the new chief of police.
That's
the acting chief of police. That's exactly what should have happened next. And if he waits more than, by sundown tonight, they're absolutely nuts.
Good advice from you guys. Trayvon Martin's parents will join Reverend Al Sharpton tonight exclusively on Politics Nation ahead of tonight's big rally. They met earlier today, as I said, with Justice Department officials, and we'll have a full report tonight.